Joann. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make these really easy lightsaber cookies, so stay tuned and I will show you how. Here are the things that I used: a 3-inch letter X cookie cutter, black and red food coloring by Wilton, electric green by Americolor, and a black edible marker. Alright guys, let's get started. Alright guys, so the first thing we need to do is just fill out the complete X. And I am using a tip number 3. You can use a 4 as well. Just helps you fill the cookie in a lot quicker. And this is going to be for our background. I think it's best to do a background for those lightsabers so they don't just sit, right on top of the cookie. Makes the colors stand out a lot nicer too. Alright, so after you've done this, go ahead and give it about an hour and a half to dry. That way when you go in with your darker colors, it doesn't absorb into it, and this is nice and dry. You won't accidentally puncture your icing. So I'm going to go ahead and fill up the rest, and then we can let them dry, and then we can move on. Alright guys, so I gave this time to dry. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get an edible marker, and this is going to help me put a line so I can follow it and then put my icing over it. So I have another edible marker here, but I'm just going to use it to help me draw it straight. Now I have to give myself some space here for the handle of it, and I do want it kind of long and have the handle a little bit smaller. So I'd say around here. So you see, I'm not touching the marker, this one here. I'm just using it to guide me so I can get a straight line. And this will be enough for the handle. It has a long one here, a straight one here, and a long one there. So that'll work. So now here I have a tip number 4 in somewhat medium consistency, but still kind of flowy. And I have here also my white in a 1 tip, and that's just to give it a glare. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pipe somewhat slow and kind of squeeze a bit of it out and just follow my line. And then I'm going to go over it again kind of quickly. And then I'm just going to tap it down so it could fade into that and kind of sink into the one I did at the bottom. And this just gives me a thicker a thickness, because just with that piping tip alone, it's not going to do it. So this is the way I found to make it a little bit wider, a little bit thicker. So now I'm going to go with my white icing, and right at the top here I'm just going to make a line on the side like that, and that'll give it a little bit of a glare. Once that dries, I'm pushing it in so it could kind of sink in a little bit. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it because it has this white background, but that's pretty much it. So I'm going to do that to the rest of them. I will be giving this I'd say about an hour, hour and a half to dry, so I can do my handle, and then I can go on with the red one that's going to go across. So I do want to give it plenty of time so it doesn't have that red get absorbed into it. So it has to be has to have like a nice dry crust to it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest, and then we can move on. Alright guys, so I gave this some time to dry. Now here I have a tip 4 in the red, and I'm going to go in this direction because I have the handles on this side. So I'm going to go just straight across. I'm going to double pass it just like I did the other one, and then tap it down so it can settle in. And then quickly I'll go with my white like I did with my green and put the little glare, and I'm going to put it on this side towards the outside, just like that. And tap that in. You can kind of see it better on the red than on the green. And now I'm going to go right across, make sure that I'm going straight so it doesn't look too off. And then I'm going to do this to the rest of them. Give this about an hour to dry, and then I can go down here with my handles, and then that'll be it. Alright guys, so I gave this some time to dry. Here I have a tip 2 in gray, and just go ahead and do one part first, the top part, and then do the bottom one, and then give this about 3 minutes to grab a crust, and then you can do the center piece. Give it a little bit of a separation. So go ahead and do the next one. So I grabbed another one that I did about 3 minutes ago, and then go ahead and fill in your center part, and then you're going to give this whole entire section about an hour to dry so it can grab a nice crust and it become a bit solid. Since it's a small piece, it should kind of dry almost completely in around that time. And you're going to go over it with your black edible marker to make just a few detailed lines. Then we'll add that one dot of red, and that'll be all. But you gotta make sure that the surface is nice and dry before you go over it with the edible marker, or else you'll puncture your icing. So go ahead and do the rest. Let this dry, and then we can move on. Alright guys, so I gave this a little bit of time to dry. Now I have here my black edible marker, and I have some red in a tip 1. And all you have to do is go across. Just give it 2 lines, since that's all that you can fit in here, but that's more than enough, because then you can put your little red dot in the center there, and that's, you know, the little switch to turn them on. I would assume that's why I'm putting them on there, because you have to have an on and off button, right? So that's about it guys. So I'm gonna finish up the rest, let them dry a little bit, put them all together, and now I'm done. Alright guys, there you have it. Super easy to make lightsaber cookies. So if you are having a Star Wars themed party, give these a try. They're real easy to put together. Alright guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't done so. And stay tuned for a few more Star Wars themed cookie videos, if not already uploaded. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching, and have a good one.